What's up, guys? It's Morgan from Lynchpin. Today, I want to talk about time frames in regards to trading. I get a lot of questions from people regarding why I use different time frames in terms of my technical indicators than the base indicators. So, I wanted to show you a practical example with a chart showing you default settings and then why I choose to use different time periods than that. Let's go. All right, so we're taking a look at Snap's chart. Big surprise for anyone who follows me. This is what I trade on a daily basis. Check out my video on trading the same stock repeatedly because I find it is super beneficial rather than trading a bunch of penny stocks and blue chips and whatever else. Anyways, in regards to this, I've got the RSI and the MACD just sent to their basic standard timeframes, everything like that. I want you to look at the chart, okay? Look at these moves. And then what I like to do is I like to take the cursor, put it over that, and look where the reversal is taking place on something like the MACD. Now, if you really look at it, there's kind of a pretty big reversal that takes place right here on the RSI, but the MACD is topping out. Notice these reversal indicators. This is the TTM scalper alert. I'll pull this up so you can see exactly what it is. And you can also see my moving averages. You'll notice that that is actually alerting really quickly, whereas this like reversal indicator is showing up after. The moving averages didn't signal until this point, which is actually behind even the MACD. So you'll notice it's kind of all over the place, right? And you'll see the same thing. You can see a takeoff start to happen here with the MACD. RSI was, had this big overbought, oversold. This is kind of the way that Snap moves in general. Anyways, notice this dip and jump, dip and jump. This one just had a big climb and then it leveled off throughout the day. But again, that's kind of familiar movement for Snap. So what I like to do is go over the crosses, like for instance on the MACD right here, and just look at the chart. Is that where it's actually reversing or not? And this is why I changed those time periods. As you can see, a lot of people do assume that these standard indicator periods of time, if you will, are correct. And I would argue that you should do what makes more sense to you. For me, these look a little off. They're a little laggy. They don't really indicate ahead of time. A lot of times they're actually lagging. And again, the most important indicators, I don't want to get it twisted at all for you: price and volume. Those are the two most important indicators for any trade you're ever going to make. You have got to pay attention to those, but these help solidify what those are telling you. These help one more box to check that you can confirm something is actually taking place. Let's take a look at the same chart adjusted with the periods that I have chosen. All right, here we go. So I'm going to pull this up so you can see it. I have changed the RSI to 10 and I've extended the range to 75 and 25 instead, because I really look for super overbought, super oversold situations. So that's why I tend to do that. The MACD, I have split basically everything in half. It went from 12, 26, and 9 to 6, 13, and 5. Now I want to show you exactly what that looks like. Remember how the MACD was lagging a lot? Look at the crossover here. Now it could have pre-indicated a couple of times here and here, but if you notice, the cross took place here. Then that's where the scalper alert also showed, and then the reversal indicator showed on the next candle. So I like that a lot more. Look at the RSI as well. The RSI is a little more clear, in my opinion, as far as what's actually taking place on the chart, because it's a shorter time frame. It's a little more reactive. The longer I extend out those periods, the smoother or the less volatile it looks. Now, granted, I don't jump in just based on RSI. This isn't something that you're looking for a singular indicator. You're looking for multiple indicators signaling the same exact thing. And for me, I prefer to have price, volume, the scalpers, and at least this reversal indicator. If I can get all four of those, that's amazing. I don't normally use the MACD, but if you were to use MACD, it can be useful in these situations. It's just a matter of, again, changing those time frames, those periods that you're using, because those defaults aren't always the best. So, am I saying don't use these standards? Not necessarily. What I'm saying is you need to think about this in terms of how you trade and what makes it more understandable for you, because I see tons of people using these on their charts. And what's funny is I've always noticed that it doesn't really help me understand what the stock is doing. Yes, it shows a reversal. And yes, a lot of people want to drag that out for the purpose of more investing style trading, which is fine. But when I'm day trading, when I'm swing trading, when I'm investing, whatever it is, I prefer to have these indicators actually indicate something to me. And I feel like a lot of the time frames that are standard just don't do that. So I would look at doing that with a couple of charts and figuring out what makes the most sense for you. Now, keep in mind, the reason that I mentioned trading the same stock is I have a good feel for how Snap moves. I have a good feel for what is kind of average-ish volume, how much it can move in a day, how volatile it tends to be. That's why I love to trade it, is because on any given day it can take off and gain a couple of dollars or something like that. But I trade options, so I get a lot more of a move in the stock price than just trading shares. So I hope that kind of helps you recognize and take a look at and think about in your own situation. You need to be changing those periods. You need to change those time frames. You need to look at what makes sense for you and adjust the chart accordingly. Don't let the chart dictate to you what makes sense. That's the amazing thing about a platform like Thinkorswim. You can customize it to fit your style of trading. And again, even if you don't trade like me, just think about how you could adjust those. Try and experiment with that. And I think it'll make a big difference with your technical trading. Anyways, thanks so much for stopping by. Hope to see you again real soon. Bye.